Why that looks crooked to me. It is crooked. Let me try to get over here like this. I'm trying to get the camera straight. Sorry about that, guys. This is a live video, so it's not edited. Okay. I don't have my microphone handy, so I'm just going to have to talk loudly. The air conditioner's on, so it's making noise. Today I'm working on guitars. I will preface this video by saying I am not a luthier. I also cannot play guitar. Yet I own over 30 guitars. I have a huge guitar collection. I consider guitars art. Most of the guitars that I own are signed artist signature series that I collected while out on tour. I used to work for Vinnie Paul from Pantera, who had a band called Hell Yeah. I used to drive his tour bus, worked for his record company, Big Band Records. I was also formerly the announcer for the band Kiss. You wanted the best, you got the best! The hottest band in the world! Anyway, I did that, and I love rock and roll, and I've always loved guitars. And I love red and black, as you know, those are my colors. If this is your first time watching this channel, if you found this because you were interested in the CHIBSON, we will discuss that. Now, I have a Judas Priest tribute act here in Las Vegas. We were going to be rehearsing soon in a few hours. We're playing Saturday at the Oyo Casino with Aces High, the Iron Maiden tribute. We go on at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., so if you see this and you want to see it. Now, I've recently become interested in the CHIBSON. These are illegal, copyright infringement replicas of guitars such as the Gibson Les Paul. Look how beautiful this guitar is. I'll bring it up to you closer. Now, I've already taken it apart, so. But look at the headstock of this sumbitch. It says made in the USA on it. If you don't know what you're looking at, you could be ripped off buying one of these guitars. I mean, it's an all one-piece body, mahogany wood, nice and heavy. But the thing about these Chinese guitars is the hardware on them is always not good. Okay, let me check my status over here. So I can't see any of the comments. I can't respond to them. So basically, the downfall to every one of these guitars is the electronics in them, the pickups, the knobs, the strings, even these tuners. They're just not good because they're poor quality, cheap replicas. This guitar, fully ready to play, delivered from China, was $211. Oh, the air conditioner took a rest. $211. Now, I paid more than that for just these pickups that I'm putting in there. I mean, you can't buy the electronics and hardware for these guitars for that money. But they can, using their technology, manipulate a piece of wood into this thing. The binding is great, the fretboard is great, the inlays, everything on it is fantastic. The pinstriping here, the finish, very impressed. Now, why am I even doing this? I don't even play guitar. But I have people in my life that play guitar, and I have my little rehearsal studio, and I wanted to have one really good guitar that if anybody ever comes over and just wants to jam, this is the guitar that I'll say, here, use this one. So I paid $211 delivered. I just spent about $250 on the pickups. So when it's all said and done, I'm going to have like $500 on the guitar. If I go ahead and buy a case for it, that'll be another $100. Even if I spend $1,000 on the guitar, when I'm done with it, it'll be far better than any Epiphone version of this guitar. And quite frankly, as good, and I hate to say it, if not better than a real Gibson. Because if you've been to the Guitar Center or the Sam Ash or the whatever lately, and you take a look at the finishes on the Gibson guitars coming out of their factory right now, it's dog shit. I just went and looked at a brand new black SG that I was thinking about buying at Sam Ash. It was on sale. It was $1,800. And the finish on it was garbage. The finish on this guitar is as good or better than any Gibson I've seen. Fantastic. All this white you're seeing is leftover polish from where they buffed and polished this thing. And all right, so what I'm doing to the guitar is I've removed the pickups, I've removed all the pots, the switch, all the electronics and wiring has been removed. Guys on eBay called Don't Tell the Wife Guitars. Thank you. Which I'm so grateful that I don't live in that world that I have to ask my wife for shit. I don't. If you are married to someone and you're irresponsible or whatever the situation is, but you have to ask your wife for things, you are a cuck. I'll say it in your face. All right. Now, the pickups we're going to put into this guitar are the Tipton Vengeance series of active EMGs. I believe these are 81s, I want to think they're called. But I'm a big fan of Judas Priest. But there was a secondary reason I wanted these particular ones, and it'll become painfully obvious as soon as you see them. Look at how cool these mother effers are. They are red. Let's just look at that, what that's going to look like. Come on! I specifically chose this guitar for its black and red appearance, and the red inlays in the fretboard just blew my mind. This red on the headstock, I just had to have it. I went ahead and got the solderless EMG switch as well. I guess I should look at the instructions. Remember, this is a live unedited video, so if you're watching this video later and there's gaps, just fast forward through it, because normally I would edit things like this out, but the nature of doing it live, do it live! That's just how it goes. So I'm looking at this switch. I have to figure out the direction. I mean, I got a long one and a short one. I'm just assuming that they give you both just a case for different guitars, maybe? Because how far do I got to go to reach where I got to go? It looks like it's a pretty far trek from here. This is probably going to be pretty boring to watch. Oh, I see it went all the way to the switch. There we go. Oh, I just realized one of them's split, one of them's not. I hope I did that right. I think I did. Installation. Install the 4-pin connector housing on the switch as shown. This is showing the black. If it's this direction, black on top, okay. Pretty simple. And then this thing will just hope it fits, gosh darn it. Yes it do. Oh, perfectly. I'll say that. Whoops. Somewhat perfectly. I like it. Very easy. Which is why I decided to just go ahead and pay the extra 20, 30 bucks or whatever for this switch, whatever it cost. Uh-oh, I just realized it needs to rotate. How do I know which one's up or down? How am I supposed to know that? I'm going to guess the direction of this plug. Seems to be reasonable enough to me. Very easy. Okay, switch is in. I just want to check my viewership and grab a drink. Let's see what's going on here, guys. 17 of you. At the moment, not very busy today. How are you guys doing? Let me scroll through the comments. Don't forget to give this stream an A. I know I've got my Pampers on here who always... How is the noise from this air... You know, this air conditioner is very loud, and I'm yelling over it. I'm sorry about that. I might even take this stream and reconfigure it. Okay, in the box. I'm already realizing that I made a mistake here because this kit comes as either a long or short knob, like many of you. And the seller reached out to me to say, hey, make sure you figure out whether you need the long or the short. And I said, I don't know which one I need. Well, I needed the short. However, what I said to him is, no matter which one I need, I can always make the longs fit. Can I really? Let's have a look. For the depth. Oh yeah, there's tons of room here. So all I've got to do, although it's a pain in the ass, is I need to, I just need to put a backing nut on it. And that will adjust it, its length. Now I've actually done this before. I just did this on one of my other guitars, so I have some spare screws and nuts and bolts over here. So what I'm going to do is make some fine adjustments. Sorry, some of this is going to be long and boring because I don't have a way to edit this. You're watching me work in real time. I have to open this stuff. People ask me sometimes why I carry a knife. It's this. It seems like every 30 seconds I have to open or cut something. I swear to God, it's all day long. I'm opening a package. And I like the switchblade not to be a badass, but because you're holding something in this hand, regular knives, you gotta put the thing down, open it, lock it, take both hands on. This thing, it's the greatest thing ever, except when it fails. There you go. It's for I'm not trying to look like a badass, it's for because it's the easiest knife you can operate. Okay. So I got to figure out these knobs and their patterns because the rest of this goes together real fast and easy. Now this jack does require some sort of, I don't know if it requires a soldering or not. I think everything is plug and play on it. Let me go find, all right, this is the deal that plugs into that jack right here. Right there. I'm probably getting ahead of myself here, but I want to go ahead and get this jack figured out. Just because I've done this before. jack has to be mounted into its mounting plate on the guitar here. One of the annoying things about these Chibson guitars is that, and I don't know what their thinking is on this, but when they put the guitar together, they leave all the protective plastic on everything. They leave the protective plastic on top of the of everything. And then you can't get it off without taking the thing apart. So they leave the protective plastic on top of the gosh darn pickups and everything, and then you can't get it off of there. All right, I got the jack together. Now let me take a look at this thing here. And on this jack, it shows you've got this 9-volt power connector. And I know that little red thing comes off here. So this is the power. So let's see. So this black battery negative goes to this connector here. And then on this one here, this black cable goes to the middle. And then the white cable goes to the other connector. Like so. Now the red cable is going to go to something else. And all of this slides through this hole where the jack is, which happens to be nearby. Now, on the last guitar I worked on, that hole was too small to handle all this stuff. I'm worried about this one as well. Nope, it's going in perfectly. There we go. Hallelujah. Now I got to find the little screws here, which I've set aside. And I put them in this little case, but I really should have a little magnetic bolt for these. Is it these long ones? I think it is. Not happy with this bit. That bit's too small. Very important you use the correct bit for these little screws. They would strip out easily. That would be very bad. You don't want that to happen. Alright, the jack is in. This is way easy if you follow the directions. I'm not doing them in exact order, but like I said, I've done this before, and I know it just kind of works this way. Kind of helps. Alright, this is your main little bridge computer that puts everything together. And it's got a little Velcro on it, and everything will snap into place here. One of the things I learned about the pickups is that you want to get these mounted as soon as possible. Because these things are just going to be flopping around. One of the other things I kind of learned was the best way is to go ahead and get them mounted into their little perspective. I don't know what these are called, these little surrounds here. Because what you have is they're spring loaded, and the reason they're on springs is because they basically float on these balance springs. These are really difficult. The plastic they use for this shit is for these little bags is annoying. Now you have different ways you can hook up the guitar. You know, for instance, the last time I did it with only the volume knob and no tone, and that one volume knob controlled both pickups. And it's all about how it's daisy chained together and the type of tone you're trying to get. Glenn Tipton, on his guitars, he doesn't like to use any tone. He prefers all of his tone to come directly from his equipment, his rack equipment. Now pay attention to these little bezels, because this one is angled because of the angle of the neck fretboard versus the body. You'll make that mistake, and it won't, I guess it technically might not affect certain things. It may be aesthetic. You just want to get it correct. The difference between what I'm doing and what a real luthier guitar technician would be doing is I'm simply doing assembly. I am not doing tuning and setup. I don't know how to do that. I don't even know how to tune a guitar correctly. I mean, other than looking at the letters it's supposed to be and using a tuner, but I don't even understand what that tuning means. I am not a musician. A lot like a drummer. So as a singer, you know, I wish I knew more about this stuff. If somebody were to say to me, hey, sing this in this key, I wouldn't know what you're talking about. I'm an idiot. I'd have to say, let me hear it. I only work by hearing. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I didn't study music theory. I can't read music. So I have no business doing what I'm doing. I really don't. But yet here I am. I just love music and I love singing. My instrument is my voice. Whether it's talking or singing, my mouth is my tool. Just like your mom. Who else had a hot dog for lunch? I did. I figured since I'm going to be singing Rob Halford for the next couple hours in rehearsal, might as well start the day off with a weenie in my mouth. What do you think? I had one of those quarter-pound jumbo Nathan's all-beef hot dogs. Put it on a piece of Hawaiian bread, just a slice of bread, with some aged cheddar toasted lightly, and mustard, French's mustard. It was fucking great. And if you don't like hot dogs, there's something wrong with you. All right, I've got these set up. Now, all I got to do now is find the correct pieces of wire that plug into them, which is a 3-wire system. Let me look at these. Well, that's a 3-wire. That's a 3-wire. That must be it. There's a long one and a short one. Why? Because the pickups are in different places. Now, all I have to do is look here and see which one goes into the pickup. I look like a monkey looking at a map. Am I stupid? There's not one indication, there's not one illustration, I should say, of the pickup. Oh, here it is. The red goes on the left of the pickup. According to this picture. There we go. Wait a minute, I did this wrong. What does it does matter because of the bezels. So the one furthest away should get the longest wire. There we go. I was having a little bit of problem getting it in there. Sounds like my honeymoon. There we go. So we'll do this one first. Luckily they put a nice big channel in here for me to thread this through. This is just too easy, folks. EMG makes it easy. Yes, they do. Now, there's other people out there, they prefer other types of pickups. They might like the Seymour Duncan. Or maybe they just want the original humbucker 57s that would come into this guitar. But keep in mind, let me see if I'm using the right screw. Because this one, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, where are these long ones? You know, I'm wondering if I didn't use the wrong screws in that jack. I think I did. I think, because they seem like they were a little long. I think this might be. Yeah. I think that these slightly longer ones should have been here. So I'm probably going to have to pull those longer screws back out of that jack. These are going in like butter. And I really should have labeled these screws. Anyway, but now, see, now that that's mounted, you know, I learned my lesson last time because I was trying to hook everything up and then put the screws in. Don't do that. That's super bad. Because every time you flip this thing over, all the parts are flopping around. You're getting lost. And I'm going to show you that it's really easy to keep track of these wires simply because of their length. You'll know which ones are which just because of their length. I think these larger ones here are what go here. Yeah. Now my streams are going to get a lot more interesting soon using Apple's new iOS 18. Because I'm sure YouTube is going to catch on real quick. But they're going to allow you to do multi-camera streams. And I'll be able to take multiple iPads, iPhones, cameras. So just imagine I'd be able to do this live stream. I would put a camera right above this, have another one here, and an iPad where I could control it and read your comments. That's coming very soon. That's going to be part of our lives very soon. So this kind of stuff is going to get a lot more interesting. Flip back over again. You know when I'm done with this switch, I can go ahead and put this body cover back on. I just realized that those screws I put in the jack, I bet those weren't the right ones either. Because these larger ones here are for these covers. Gosh, darn it. Yep, that's what those are for. Luckily I have extras. I'm being very confident putting that cover on. But I should have 4 of those big screws for that cover. And I just put them in this damn jack. Here I am taking them out again, like an idiot. And these little ones should be going in there. And I hope they fit now. Now that I've wallered it out, now they go in. They're all the same. I am for the 3rd time on this stupid jack. What I should have done is I should have taken a piece of paper, drawn a little circle around it, and wrote on the piece of paper what each thing was, and then carefully put the screws in that little spot. And that would have solved this. Now when I'm working in the other room, I should have brought it in here. I usually sometimes have a little silicone work mat. You can just take a Sharpie and write something on it, and then it wipes off easily with alcohol. Okay, there we go, again. Let me fish this other pickup in there. God, it's looking gorgeous already. This thing is beautiful. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to get it strung up and everything today. I'm running short on time. My guys are gonna be here at 5 and it's 4. Make sure that cord is, oh really, yes it is. Now I can just simply attach this in its hole. But what I'm doing here, now there's people out there that are going to make some moral arguments here and say, listen, this is counterfeit, you know. What's the difference between this and a fake Rolex or a fake Ferrari or a fake Lamborghini? Bob, you're a faker. You're full of shit. Somebody might say. Well, there's some element of truth to that. These are being counterfeited, you know, by Chinese counterfeiters, sneaking them past customs. It's contraband. And really the only thing that makes it illegal, as this shape is widely accepted, is simply the putting this Gibson logo on the top. Many times they ship the guitar without it and they send you the logo separate. I did not buy this guitar with the intent to defraud anyone. I bought it because of this. Look at it. Black and red. These red Glen Tipton pickups. This thing is beautiful. And I've never seen a Gibson this way in the store. I don't know if they ever made this actual model. Maybe they did. I don't know. Okay, here's the trickier part. Now I've got all these wires and I've got all these little pots. Before I go plugging this stuff in, I need to manipulate these pots into their holes. And they are clearly marked passive tone, volume, volume, passive tone. Now, they give you different versions to hook up here. We're doing the full Monty. Now, according to this layout, they're showing it to be volume, volume, tone, tone. To me, wouldn't it be volume, volume, tone, tone? Volume, volume, tone, tone? But that's how they have it laid out, so I guess that's how I'm going to do it. And I got to figure out what plugs into what, when, and where and first. But before I even do, do I want to plug them in first and then mount them, or do I want to mount them and then plug them in? I think plug them in. Let me get all my little washers together and all my little nuts. And look at that, they were already thinking ahead. They gave me double the nuts because they knew I got to do what I'm going to do right now. I have to put on one nut to figure out how deep this thing's going to sit. Furthermore, these holes are super tight, which will work in my advantage. I'm putting it in backwards because this way I can twist it and get it to the spot where I want. So I know where this nut's got to sit. Does that make sense? That'll let me know where that nut needs to rest. I'm going to go with right there. That looks like the right spot to me. The hole just needs a little help. The pots they were using were pretty thin. So I just need to give it a little bit of help. The paint finish here and whatnot is added to the size of the hole. So by doing this, it just gives me that tiny little extra little bit of threading I need. I'm going to preset all these little blocker nuts here to the same basic size, or spacing I should say. They can always be adjusted later. It'll be a pain in the ass, but you'll be able to do it. But this is one of the reasons I chose the EMG products. Plug and play, no soldering involved, even though I can solder. But this is just way too easy. And this is the gold industry standard. There are other pickups, better pickups for different sound. But for standard heavy metal guitar, I don't think you could do any better than these. And what do I know? I don't even play guitar. What do I know? I'm an idiot. What I know is that this is what Glenn Tipton uses in his guitars, and he makes the coolest fucking music in the world. All right, here we go. We're going to start with our little computer here, our little router is what it really is, with the positive of this battery going in to one of this red and this black is just a terminal strip, a bridge, basically. Can't screw that up. So basically all of the reds simply just plug into that red. Like I said, you can't screw that up. That's why these are all kind of separated with each other. So let's see where this jack goes on the back here. It goes to the output, and it tells you white, black. You can't mess this up. So this thing's already almost hooked up. Look at this. Stupid. Now, volume number 1. It looks like, to me, why does it just show one white? I don't have that. I have white and blacks. I guess it's just showing you that, I don't know where that goes. Or does this separate? I don't get it. No. Give me a second now. This is a little tricky right here, because there's this spaghetti loop here. What the frick? What the frick? Okay, neck pickup. Sorry if I'm quiet here, but I'm trying to think, but nothing happens. Just trying to thread this through this mess of wires here. Okay. Bippity boppity boop. Ickity ackity oop. Okay, this one that has this green on it, that's coming from that switch. This much I know. This longer one is the neck in the back. Oh, I see. Neck in, bridge in. Durr, I got it. Pretty smart, EMG. I'm assuming NK, and it has white and black. So smart. So now, this switch, well, this don't make no plan. Oh yeah, it does. Here it goes. This just couldn't be any easier. Once you figured out, this is the ground and or does it want me to cut these wires? Is there an adapter? On this plan. Guess they go there. Oh, you know what? That's why the switch had its own instructions. Ah, yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, wait. That's where this thing comes in. Or does it come in? I think this is just a shorter version of that. What I can tell, I do declare. Okay, fingered it out. So yeah, that's just an extra one that's super short if the switch is in a different location. So now it's just a matter of getting these all plugged in together, and they do that by how? So we need that don't make no sense. Okay, where this says bridge in, I think what's supposed to happen, bridge in goes to bridge volume. I don't know which is white and black, because it don't tell you. Yeah, it does, kind of. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And then out of that goes this one, middle. It goes up to bridge in. Same thing with neck in. Neck in, we'll go to this volume. This is a little, I mean, it's not too hard, but it's like, it's a little complicated the way they've got it. It's like, it could be a little clearer, because they give you this mess of spaghetti and you're trying to figure out what's what in this picture. But it's kind of simple, I guess. And then what happens is I see this goes over to the tone. And that's all there is to it. That just goes to that. Okay, that's pretty simple. I think, by George, I think I've got it. Pretty sure that's all there is to it. Let's just poke that in the hole. Poke this in the hole. This in the hole. Put this in the hole. Okay. Okay. Let's see if my thing still fits. Son of a bitch. It doesn't. I went and got a socket that I thought was the right size. Well, it was the right size for the other. Oh shit. Did this wrong. Well, it's just I forgot this washer, this lock nut washer. I hope that gives me enough space, because I got these not too tight, but tight enough. Who knows, if I get this strung up fast enough, I might be able to get one of the guys to tune it and play the bitch. They'll be here shortly. We're 9 volt and a few strings away from getting this going. Anyway, what I was trying to get to before earlier was I have no moral justification or reason why I think I deserve to have this fake guitar. You know, I'm not making a statement against Gibson or price gouging or whatever. There's none of that going on. It's not what any of this is about. There's no agenda. It's simply, it's a great guitar for a great price. Politically and consciously, do I think they should be stopped? Yes. I think they should. I'm being a complete hypocrite buying this guitar. Not only am I buying the guitar, I'm showing you how to modify it to make it good. Gibson has let their quality really, really slack, though, I have to say. Their stuff is not as good as it once was. And that's a shame. Quite frankly, most stuff is made in China nowadays anyway. I'm going to go grab a 9-volt battery. Not that that's much of an excuse, really. One of these guys is here already. There's not really a way, they don't, you know what they don't give you? They do not give you a, something to put the battery into. So what you got to do is just get some kind of a tissue or something. I think that's what I'm literally going to do, take some tissue, a napkin or something, some toilet paper. There's not enough electrical going on in here to cause a spark or fire, you know. So, shit. What a piece of shit. I'm gonna wrap this 9-volt and this toilet paper. Keep it from sloshing around. I don't know of another thing. What's going on? You're super early. I'm live streaming my guitar build.
The EMG?
Yeah, I got the Glen Tipton. The same ones that I put in that other one, they're the reds. So this CHIBSON is being totally, it's almost finished. I'm putting the cover on it now.
What's that company you said you bought them from?
Polaris for music is probably.
No, another one. B something H something.
Or DH Gate.
Yeah. Yeah, I follow them. I'm always looking at them. I'm like,
That's where I got that other one. The pickups cost more than the whole guitar.
Yeah.
I think it was like $250 for the pickups with the switch and jack. So I'm replacing 100% of all the electronics, wiring and everything, every single thing. Go. All right, that's all together now. These clear knobs are known as speed knobs. Speed knobs. Too bad they don't go to 11. Somebody's texting. All right, at this point now we're just down to strings, of which I have these Dunlop Lab. Give me 3 sets. These are lights at 10. Funny enough though, Glenn Tipton uses a 9. Which is crazy. The thing is, if you don't know how to set up a guitar yourself, these aren't color coded either. I think the other ones I was using were Ernie's and they were color coded. These you just have to know what they are. Are the 2 gold ones the E's? I think so. Once I string this, it'll be, I guess, kind of ready. Yes, and the gold is the E. What do you think?
Huh?
I have no idea what I'm doing. Supposedly it has a bone nut.
Pretty soon you'll be
A luthier.
guitar tech.
That's what I'm doing, yeah. I can't play guitar, I can't even tune a guitar.
Who even knew if Franz knew how to play guitar? Who knows?
Who? Who's Franz?
Franz Schubert?
Oh. Franz, yeah, he could play guitar. I think you're supposed to kink it. This is tedious and a pain in the ass. I was gonna change these tuners out. They say Grover on them. I'm pretty sure they're not. But that can be done at any time. You're gonna change strings out anyway. I'm one of these guys that likes their string trimmed. These dudes with the strings all over the place, I hate that shit. This is all got this. How often do you change your strings out?
Not as often as I used to. I used to get.
Every time it breaks?
No. I got like so many guitars now that.
Oh, fuck me running. Why didn't you tell me I was doing this wrong?
What happened? What happened?
So I blame you. It's your fault. Maybe I can still, nah, fuck. I just put the E little string on top. I wasn't paying attention. I don't think I can reuse it after you've done it. You know, once you've wound it up. I hate to waste this whole pack of strings. And I cut it off and everything. I'm just sitting here, la da 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 da. I'm sure I'm not the first guy to do that. And I don't even know what I'm doing. But I was like, wait a minute, something seems wrong about this. They say you can't reuse it, but maybe I can. What do you think?
Huh?
You think I can reuse it?
Yeah, maybe.
God dang it. Well, you can't reuse it because you'll never get it through the fucking hole. It's all curly-cued at the end. Son of a bitch. Why didn't you tell me? Somebody.
I would have noticed.
I was stringing it up for a left-handed player. Yeah. That's it. Jimi Hendrix was going to come and play this Chinese Les Paul. I have to wonder if Stefan's guitar isn't a Chinese guitar. Because he got too good a deal on it. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks about the same as this. We need to get that little drill attachment.
That drill down.
That's what I just said. I need to get one. This sucks. I mean, it's still better than doing it without
By hand.
Yeah, by hand, but still. Yeah, it'll be fine because I gave myself enough thread. No, you don't got to dust. I gotta learn how to set these up and tune them and shit. Because the dude charges $100 to do it. And that's fucking half as much as I paid for the guitar. But when you put in the new pickups, you gotta figure out where they go, you know.
This is where you're putting it on? 1046?
Well, they gave them for free.
That's cool.
When I bought the pickups, they gave me 3 sets of strings as a gift.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's called Don't Tell the Wife Guitars.
Huh?
They're called Don't Tell the Wife Guitars.
Oh.
I always hear that shit, like, oh, my wife won't let me buy, or whatever. I'm like, you got the wrong wife. My wife doesn't tell me shit. Not one time has she ever said, oh, you can't buy that with your own money. She's just like, oh, that's nice, honey. I don't give a fuck. But I hear that all the time. People say, oh, my wife won't let me buy that. Like, you got the wrong fucking wife. My wife ever said to me, you can't buy this, I'd be like, what?
How much is this set, about 200?
It's a little over 200, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like 209 or something like that. Came with the strings. And
I think Zach has a signatures in set EMGs too. Have you heard any of that Pantera, the Zach?
no, I've avoided it like the plague.
I've heard good and bad. Well, just people complaining.
I'm sure it's fine. I mean, I don't know. It's not gonna have the same sound, but
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Got the real knobs on it now.
Those came with it.
Oh, those came in?
Yeah. Well, this thing is pretty impressive. It's the most impressive $200 guitar you'll ever see. But you know, I just put these EMGs in there. Those were over $200,
Okay.
which included the, you know, well, it was about $250 to replace the pickups, the switch, and the jack. So
Okay.
all the hard, you know, basically everything but the seat and bridge here, all the pots, knobs, all the electronics would be Gibson quality. These tuners are not real Grovers. They're the ones that came with it. We're going to see how they hold the tune
Okay.
before I replace them. They might be fine, you know. The ones that I put on the other guitar are real. If they hold a tune, then we'll keep them. If they don't, we'll take them out. Just to warn you, though, I'm live streaming this build. You don't have to hide from the camera or anything.
Oh, okay.
Just don't,
I didn't know.
just don't say anything.
I was probably standing in the way there.
No, it's okay. Just don't say anything you don't want publicly known.
Oh, okay.
People like to watch me work on shit on my channel.
Thanks for letting me know. Right.
Just warning you, that's all. In case you come in here and start talking about your testicular itch or something, you know. This takes forever. This is why you gotta have a guitar tech. Especially if you screw it up. What just happened here? What the fuck? I got my wires crossed somehow. Wait, what? Wait. Okay. No. Gosh darn. I'll fuck this up. I don't know if I can fix that. It's like my first time. Okay, it's my second time. I got these crossed. Somehow, I don't know how. Ow. That should go on that one. I don't know if I can fix that.
The wire too short, the string too short.
Depends on if I gave myself enough. This one should be in a different spot. I don't know how I did that. Well, I know how I did it, I just don't want to do it. It's not gonna reach. I just totally fucked this whole thing up. That goes up here. I cut it too short. Yeah, that's not gonna.
Even if you can get it, instead of 90 pounds slack.
Yeah, I mean, even if I'd probably technically could do it. I mean, it might work. It's not coming out or anything. I think nothing else matters is the new Stairway to Heaven. That sucks. That sucks. That means I gotta sacrifice a whole string kit. wanting to kink up. Who's still watching this? I haven't looked at the camera in a while. Been on here 2 hours, Jesus. I just want to see if it's working.
I think they make you down that step.
Fuck yeah.
Bob, I'm sorry, but you got the Allen wrench for this?
Oh. Yeah, I don't, you know what? I need to go. Let me take the guitar. Take the, unplug it. Yeah, you can leave that on there. I'm gonna take it and go find the rig for it.
I have one at my house.
I got every wrench in the world.
I got one in my car, in my truck.
That was great.
Oh. Man, this thing is freaking heavy, dude.
Looks like we're gonna be matched. Sunglasses. Sorry.
Huh? Can't hear you.
I said Bob is just driving a ring.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Bob, you got this backwards. This is supposed to be that one, and this was supposed to be this one. It feels pretty good, but it's heavy.
It is a heavy motherfucker, isn't it?
For $250? Damn,
Like,
they did send you multiple.
It's solid mahogany.
Feel that?
It's got to be 10 pounds.
Holy fuck.
What? I think they're supposed to be 9.1. How does this? How does that feel next to your white one?
Oh my god.
Is it heavier?
Yeah. That's heavier than shit, huh?
It is. Let me weigh it. I gotta.